What's going on YouTube, Fesify Media? Let's get straight into the video. I've got a few stories I want to cover. If you're new, make sure you subscribe to the channel with the notification bell. And if you've already subscribed, make sure you hit that like button. Our first story, guys, a rapper who blamed a stabbing on his identical twin found guilty for the murder. The rapper involved was known as YS out of 9th Street. They had tracks like Hold It Down, which is on 600k views plus. They had a light work freestyle and a bunch of stuff. And he had taken Mr. Campbell's life, who was just a new father. It was said that he had kissed his fiancée and baby daughter goodnight before he was stabbed to death, which is actually really sad. And let's get into what happened. It was said that a rail worker, Mr. Campbell, 24 years old, was stabbed to death by a group of men on an estate in Hendon, North London, on the evening of 29th of February 2019, the Old Bailey had heard. The attack took place through a car window and Mr. Campbell waited to meet a colleague who he had planned to set off with for the night shift. This guy was literally on the way to work. It's really sad. It was said that he was then attacked and managed to be stabbed through his own car window. It was said that a knife was repeatedly put through the window that was open while a fourth male blocked the other side, it was claimed. Mr. Campbell drove forward, crashed into railings and then got out holding a steering wheel lock as the attackers made off in the Prius. Mortally wounded and terrified, he struggled back to his car and pulled away from the scene, the court heard. The victim phoned his cousin and, struggling to breathe, told him he had been stabbed in Hendon. He was found slumped across the front seats, covered in blood, and sadly died in hospital. DNA matching the profile of 18-year-old Mr. Hall, the drill rapper, was found on the knife used to kill Mr. Campbell in North London. Asked about the DNA, he said, "I've never touched that knife, it's not mine, it must be my brother's," and he actually has a twin brother. But despite him blaming his twin brother, the court still found him and another man guilty for taking the life of Mr. Campbell. I just want to say now, rest in peace, Mr. Campbell. To make that story even sadder, he was a new father as well. Now that kid's gonna have to grow up without a dad. Certain people were saying the rapper even made references to him in a song. The song Hold It Down, there was something about putting someone in a spliff, but it was kind of blurred out. Weirdly enough, he also had lyrics saying, "I told my bro don't ching that man, it's a myth, it ain't worth it." And also said you can still get bun if you're taking the piss, pull up, and it was something blurred out, and talked about getting put in a spliff where it could have been a reference. But now that this rapper has actually been found guilty of the charge, I'll update you guys on what exactly happens with his sentencing, which I'm sure will be soon. Our next story, guys, talking of drill, Tion Wayne said this is the last drill tune, finishing how I started, Russ Millions, Take Your Crown Back. It's going to be the last track on drill from Tion Wayne and he's moving on. And I'm interested to see how this track sounds. Of course, Russ and Tion Wayne had the classic song that like 10 people remixed, Keisha Becky. So it'll be interesting to see how this one does and if it gets a remix. The remix last time got like 7 times the amount of views of the original track. There's so many people in there. They had Aitch, where he's literally just blown up on his prime. That ain't gonna happen again because Russ and Aitch have fallen out. But that song was massive. It's on 50 million views, the remix, and the other one is on 18 million. But Russ is in good spirits right now to produce a banger with Tion. He's got 5.2 million views on his Plugged In with Fumes, which was only released just 2 months ago. And our last story, guys, the legend, the GOAT himself, Skepta, could be retiring from music because of what he put up on his Instagram story. He said this J5 song / video featuring Rema and myself was recorded and shot last year in Ghana. I have one more song with Bando and Els that was also recorded in 2020. After we drop that, I'm out. If he is retiring, I mean, he could just not be making any more music for the year, but it sounds like he could be retiring. He could be passing the torch. Of course, he's from Tottenham, Bando and Double L's on his last song. It could be a passing the torch situation. We don't know. But guys, thank you for all the support recently. Make sure you leave a like on this video. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe with a notification bell. Follow me on Instagram. I'm going to be back active over there. That's at Fesify. You guys can also message me video ideas or updates you want me to post about. See you on the next one. Peace out.